Okay, hi, I'm Kevin. This is me making Millionaire bars because Emma and I did a video recently where we were talking about them, and then she said, "Oh, Kevin, you should make them." And I think she actually said that because Emma can't bake, so it's my responsibility to show you how to make Millionaire bars. So I'm going to do it in 3 stages. So the first one is the crust, and we're going to start with this. I poured it out. I don't have a lot of room here. It's not my original kitchen, so this is where we're at. So 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of sugar, some about a teaspoon of vanilla, salt, 1 egg yolk, and this is for the crust to start the process. Okay, so I'm going to mix it up right now, and I know this bowl is a bit of overkill, but it's all I had. So what we're going to do is put in the butter, and I got to do everything by hand because it's not. I don't have my mixer here, so I'm just going to do it by hand. So it might take a little while to sort of mix it all up and everything. So I'm going to do the butter and the sugar first, right? In there, and like really kind of, it's got to be room temperature to get the best, easiest way to mix it. But don't melt it because then it's too soft. Okay. So, and I did wash my hand. So you do that, and then throw in your egg yolk. Boom. So then you just mix this up like this, right? So you can see it's mixing way better. Yummy. Okay. This is when I want to just stick my face in it and eat it because it's just butter and sugar. And this, oh, there's this cap. Okay. So teaspoon is about that, right? Put that on. This is cheap vanilla, but could be better. A little bit of salt. Okay. Mix that up again. Right. Kind of creamy. It's like room temperature butter is so much easier, and the egg should be room temperature too, just to make sure. And then you just add your flour. So I would just do like a little bit at a time because it can be a bit to mix up, especially if you're doing it by hand. But this is super easy. This is the only part of it that you have to actually bake. So you're going to mix this up, and then you're going to put it in the pan and flatten it all out. It's like it's almost like a shortbread crust, right? And then you cook that, let it cool. Then you do your caramel center and your chocolate topping, all of which we'll do in a separate section, right? We'll just do one step at a time, just for the sake of room, because I just don't have any. And at some point, I will be shoving my hands in here to mix it up because it's got to be fairly smooth, and I can't really do that with this spoon, I don't think, but we'll try. So put in the rest of the flour, get that on, bang bang. Okay, it gets kind of crumbly, you know, so let me just get this going. So there we go. So it's kind of almost the consistency that you want, but it is better if you mix it up a little bit more. So I'll just rinse off my hands again, and then, sorry, big head. That. Okay, my towel. And then I'm just gonna mix it up just to get it. I'll show you what it has to look like so that you have a better idea. Oh, and the other thing is, this particular one I'm doing with gluten-free flour, so it looks a little bit, it looks pretty much the same as regular flour. It might be a little bit crumblier with real flour, but I have a guest coming who's gluten-free, so this will be something he'll be able to eat, so that'll be good. Okay, so that's that. It's all mixed up. So what you want to do, clean your hands again. Holy cow. And it's kind of greasy now because it's all butter. But you're going to put it in a pan like this. Now, normally I would put parchment paper in it, but this is kind of a new pan, so I don't think it's going to be a problem if I just put it directly in the pan. So I'm going to do that. We'll find out soon enough. Okay. So it's all in there. Okay, can you see that? Yeah, so I'll show you too. I'm going to flatten it all out. I'm just going to use my fingers again, my hand, just because it makes it easier. And you just want to get it as kind of even as possible. It would be like maybe quarter to half an inch, I think. I have a couple of things I'm going to use to flatten it out a little bit more. Right, so I got this little box thing. So I thought I'd try this just to get it really even and flat. These things taste amazing when they're done. They're a super popular treat. Totally bad for you. That's why they're so good, I guess. Right? So we have that. Okay. I'm not the best baker, but I love baking. I love cooking in general. So hopefully we'll get an opportunity to make some other things on here. Kind of fun, but this is really simple. It's kind of, you know, and people love it, like I say. And you just leave it in the fridge when it's done, because the creamy caramely center gets all mushy and everything when it's soft, but still, it's good. So it looks pretty good. See, it's a little bit fingery, but maybe I'll try this, see if I can smooth it out a bit more. Not that it matters, because really, you're not going to see it, and it's not going to affect the taste at all. You just want to try and get it even so that you don't have, you know, really thick sections and really thin sections, which looks like it might have. Actually, I'll move it over so it's not quite as look at that. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure everything's even, get it in there. So then it goes in like 350 oven for maybe 15 minutes. Kind of just check it. It should be a little bit golden on the top, but not too much. Okay, you don't want to burn it. So I'm not really sure about this oven either, because I haven't used it for this type of cooking before, but we'll put it in and we'll just put it on a timer and see how it goes. Okay. All right, so we'll come back in about 15 minutes. Okay, so we're back and this is done. So you can see here, it's not really brown, but the edges are brown, and that's what you're concerned about. You just got to make sure that it's cooked through, which it is. So now you're just going to leave this to cool, and then we're going to make the topping. Okay. Okay. So the topping consists of it's going to be like 1 cup of brown sugar, like this, right? This kitchen is very small, so I'm not sure. I'm going to tip it after to show you. Maybe I'll just do it now, and then you can see it. Okay. So there it is. It put in the pot. It's on heat, like kind of a medium heat or whatever. It again, like a teaspoon of vanilla, maybe, like that. Okay, and then you want to put in corn syrup, right? And that's a 1/4 cup of corn syrup. Will go in there. See if I can get all of it out. This is nothing but sugar in it. It's great. It's like my favorite stuff. All my favorite things. Christmas. Okay, so that, and then butter, of course. So 1/2 cup of butter, right, in there. So what you're gonna do, like, we're just gonna melt this, and then just get this to kind of a golden brown consistency. Okay, there we go. That, and then the creme a la resistance. So this is like condensed milk. Like this particular brand is Eagle brand. Stupid expensive. The only reason I would have this is because it was on sale, because I would not pay $4.99 for this. Condensed milk is literally milk and sugar. It's totally not good for you. But most stores sell their own brand or whatever, and you can usually get it a couple of bucks cheaper, which makes a huge difference, because it's, you know, it's stupid, right? Like, you shouldn't have to pay full price for condiments. That's not like I'm a big discount food shopper just because you're, especially condiments and things like that, because you go to name brand stores and they charge you a ridiculous amount of money for the same thing you can get anywhere else, like dollars cheaper, you know. And if you have a kids or, you know, family or anything, but if you're just trying to save money, like, it's totally worth it to do it that way. Okay, so I've got this on, it's like a 5, so that's kind of medium, so it's just heating up. It'll take a while because of this type of stove, and then we're just gonna take this and incorporate it all, mix it up. I'm going to turn it up a little bit higher just to get it started, so that it starts melting and everything. It doesn't take too long. And then there we go. So we're just going to heat that up, and then it gets it melts obviously, and then it gets a nice golden brown color. So we'll do that, and it takes about 5 or 10 minutes. So we'll just let this happen. Okay, so here we are back again. So I've been doing this for about 10 minutes and then just bringing it to a slow boil. And I was using a whisk in the beginning just to mix it up really well, but then I started using a spatula because as it heats up and it starts to boil, it kind of gets stuck to the sides a little bit, and you don't want to do that too much because then it burns and you get little chunky things in it. Anyway, so we're going to do this for a couple more minutes. It usually gets a little, not dark, but kind of a golden color, which it is now. You know, if you could, the longer you cook it, obviously the darker it gets, but I kind of like this creamy color that it gets. So we'll just do this for a couple of seconds more. Then what we're going to do is pour this over the shortbread topping, and then we're going to put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to make the chocolate ganache to go on the top, and then put it back in the fridge to cool and get solid, and then you can cut it up and you know, do whatever you want with it, serve it however you like. So let's just see. I think it's okay. So we're going to take this off the heat, and then we're going to let it cool for probably about 5 or 10 minutes, just so that it's not so steaming hot, and then we're going to pour it on. So we'll be right back to do that. Okay, so we've waited about 10 minutes and then just came back. So it's in the pot. It's just a little bit more solid than it was. So then you just pour it in like this, right? It's very tempting to just grab a spoonful and eat it, but we're gonna not do that today. So here we go. I moved my mic down so you wouldn't hear all my grunting and groaning every time I was stirring something. Sorry about that. I'll try and get rid of some of it during the editing. So there you have it, right? And then you're obviously just going to smooth it out and get it in all the edges and everything. Okay. Right. You totally know I'm going to do this, right? Oh my god, so good. Okay, so then shake it a little bit. Make sure that get. Because the smoother this is, the easier it is to do the chocolate. Because you want it to, right? So now, once again, we're going to take this, put it in the fridge. We'll leave it in the fridge for about 20 minutes just to get it nice and hard, because then we'll melt the chocolate, pour the chocolate over it, and then back in the fridge, and then you can eat it. Okay, cheers. Okay, so now it's been, I don't know, maybe 15-20 minutes. So it's still in the fridge, but we'll do the chocolate now. So normally, like, you would use a double boiler, but I don't have a double boiler, and it doesn't matter. I just put some water in this pot, get it to heat up, put a boil, and then just put a pot or a bowl that fits on top of it like that. So then you're doing 1.5 cups of chocolate, and I mix milk chocolate with semi-sweet chocolate just to shake it up a bit, you know. And then 1/3 cup of cream. You can use whipping cream, whatever. It says heavy cream, but I usually use like 10% because it's enough. And then, you know, you're just mixing it up to melt, right? So like right now, obviously, it just looks like a bunch of chips with milk. So we're gonna just stir that up, let it heat up. It melts pretty fast. And then you just want to kind of stir it all the time so that it's not getting, so it doesn't burn and it doesn't get lumpy and stuff like that. So you just make sure that it all smooths out and it starts melting. It takes a few minutes on this particular stove for some reason, because it's cheap. So here we go. Just let it heat up, right? And then once that starts heating up, we'll just keep stirring it. and then it's going to melt. If I do more of these, I'll get a better setup, right? Okay, so you can see that it's starting to melt now. It takes a minute, because if you put it directly on the heat, you know you'll burn it, right? And you can do this in the microwave, but it's also a little bit tricky. So like if you do it in the microwave, you want to do it like a little bit at a time, not all at once, like 3 minutes or something. You just do kind of like, I don't know, 40 second, 40 second, 40 second, just to make sure, and then stir it all the time so that it's not sticking and burning, right? The key is not burning it, because burnt chocolate is really horrible, and then it's not going to do what you want it to do anyway, right? So, but this stove is particularly slow, so I apologize, but we're getting there. It's starting to melt. Once it starts, it really goes. It's just a matter of getting it hot enough. Bang, boom. Okay, so it's getting there. Starting to. Oh, I don't have my Christmas music on. I guess it stopped. Wow, I sound like a heavy breather. I'm not sure what that's about. Why I'm breathing so heavily. Maybe it's because I get excited about chocolate. I don't know. Anyway, so this is good. And if Amma was here, I would make her eat half of this plate, because she's the one who made me do this. So she would have to eat them all. But at some point, she's in London and I'm here in Canada. So at some point we will meet up, and we will probably do something like this together. It'd be kind of fun. So we'll just see what happens. And if you're interested in seeing more stuff with us, it's Amma and Kevin at Amma and Kevin on YouTube. So check it out. I'm splashing all over me. But it's pretty good. It's kind of a fun show. We just talk about a number of things. Like, we're both coaches, so we talk about that. But we also just talk about things that people go through in life and everything, and try and get people involved and talk to us about their issues and stuff like that, so that we can learn more about each other. It's kind of a fun space to be, and just let yourself go and talk about whatever you want. So we just pick topics, but it's new. So if you're watching this and you go to YouTube and look for us, Amma and Kevin, put it in there and make a suggestion. We'd love to do some stuff together. So it's good. See, now it's really starting to melt. You can see. So as I take it off the heat to stop melting. Anyway, I'll just stir this up, and then it's going to just smooth right out, which is what you want. And you want to get it like smooth enough, melted enough, so that when we put it on the topping, it's going to spread easily. Like, really what we're making is literally squares of sugar, which is, what eating Christmas goodies are all about, right? So that's it. Anyway, here we go. It's almost ready. It's like a nice little ganache, Might not be Martha Stewart standards, but what does she know? Right? That's what I say. Anyway, here we go. So now it's a good consistency. It's really warm, kind of stringy, So let it just go a little bit more, and then I'll pull out the cake, and then we can put it on there. Okay, I'm going to take it off that for now. I'm going to just go and grab the cake. Okay, hopefully, well, this is kind of being done a little bit faster than normal, but let me kind of get you to see this. It's a very rudimentary setup I have, but okay, hopefully this works. It might still be a little bit too soft on the bottom, but we'll see. So get as much of that as you can. Spread it out, same way, like the caramel. Whoa. I think I've gained like 30 pounds just doing this. So you just, again, fill in all the corners, right? When it gets hard, then you just cut it into squares and serve it, or sneak squares and eat it on your own, depending. Like my partner would totally say like, Kevin, half of it's gone, where'd it go? I'm like, I don't know. But hopefully I've got enough here. Wow. So maybe it was a little bit too soft to get started, and it feels like it's not totally even, but as if anybody cares when they eat it, right? It's like, just give it to me and eat it all up. But I think it looks okay. So I don't remember the last time somebody complained about, oh, my square's not even. So I think we're good. There we go. Wow, that's a lot of shaker. Okay. Sorry, I could not resist. Anyway, here it is. Looks pretty good, right? So now it goes back in the fridge, and then leave it in there for a good. Like sometimes I leave it overnight. It's probably a good idea. Then the next day, just take it out and cut it into squares and put it in a container to save it. But keep it in the fridge because it'll get all mushy and melty. And then just enjoy it, and come back and watch for more. Like we'll probably be doing other things, and enjoy. If you need, I'll type out the recipe and put it on the thing so you have it, and then enjoy and have a great Christmas. Talk to you soon. Cheers.